Tuesday. It's 3 p.m. Time to get started for the final hour. Let's kick things off. Price. Not a lot of overall direction today. We kind of ended up right where we closed yesterday. Despite the gap lower, we just kind of steadily made our way back up towards the gap highs. Overall direction is close yesterday. Final hour here, if we just kind of stay where we are, that's only a move of a whopping 73 cents on the SPY. Let's have a look at the numbers. We've got the SPY down 0.11%, the NASDAQ at 0.05 positive, the Dow 0.01 positive, the Russell down 0.38. Let's do a quick snapshot of these. Let's go SPY. Still clinging to a green candle on the day. Pretty choppy here the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Last decent surge we had to the upside would have been the 11th and 14th of October. That was a Friday, Monday. And then before that, we had the 9th. Otherwise, been pretty quiet. Failed to make an all-time high since October 17th. Obviously not that long ago, but I believe that was the 47th high for the year in the S&P this year. NASDAQ still not taking out the recent highs, the all-time highs we had back in July. The Dow falling from the previous all-time highs. That was 2 days ago, 2 trading days ago on the 18th. Yesterday was a pretty red day on the Dow. I'm still looking to see if the price will pull back to the 21, 50, 100, any type of moving average support. I'm looking to see if I can buy some dips. Or price just go sideways, allow the 21 EMA to catch up. But I would like to see a little bit of a spike, trying to find some type of pullback. So patiently waiting for my levels before I start adding some additional exposure. If the melt up continues, we can all benefit from a melt up. I will probably just have cash not allocated or not deployed if we're just going to continue to go up without having any type of pullback. Which is okay. I mean, my overall direction is bullish, cautiously bullish, but still, benefiting from at least a melt up. The Russell, a little bit more on the volatility side. We pulled back a few percent off these highs. We have pulled back around 2.6%, 2.7% on the Russell. Recent highs back in July, right after FOMC. Obviously, the big drop there in August. Let's see if the Russell can still continue to bounce off these kind of slingshotted levels where we've had pullbacks. So I'd love to see something again here in the cluster there, the 21, the 50, the 100. Looking at probably some IWM or maybe some RUT, RTY exposure. I might put a futures, if I can trade M2K, that's the Russell's futures, I might look at a credit spread there as well. Volatility 1852, up a little bit on the day, 0.76%, not too much. SVXY, I'm still holding some puts. DXY, still a green day, still melting up. That's quite a percentage move from the bear trap all the way up to current price. The dollar's up about 3.9% over the last, month? End of September into current October. Interesting. I'm interested in shorting the dollar. Haven't done it yet. Don't see any confirmation yet. Looking for a smaller time frame to turn if we can. If the dollar's going to turn, I'd be watching probably the 1 hour time frame. Pretty straightforward. I mean, this dollar chart on the 1 hour chart, no signs of turning yet. So pretty well supported until it's not. We all of a sudden start to see some structure breaking, then I'll start looking to short the dollar. But until then, this may surprise us by just going all the way up as we get into the election, and then I'm curious if we actually have a decent direction to the downside. If we get too much higher than this resistance zone, zoom out and just see where resistance is sitting. So there's my DXY. Do we come back into this trend line around 105, 105.50? Maybe. Do we turn here at this 618 fib zone? Maybe. Need some confirmation though. Oil up 2.71% on the day, off the lows. Still not calling the bottom on oil. I think inflation's going to want to see lower oil prices. Now, whether that's breaking lows and getting more and more like, oh my gosh, oil demand is so bad and the prices are dropping and breaking floors, or do we just see like lots of chopping here in the low 70s? Not sure. So staying out of oil for right now. Same thing with crude. CL staying out of this one for right now. Chart alarms are set. Natural gas 2.30. I've got some chart alarms set. I'm hoping we pull back into the same level, and I'm going to go out to April or May of next year and put in some credit spreads. Waiting on that one. Gold, another strong day today. 0.93% to the upside, up to a fresh all-time high. Silver also making a nice little charge to the upside. And I'm holding SLV. Measured move around 33. My covered call is at 35. I might be willing to take profit, although I kind of don't want to, but I probably will. So measured move 1 on SLV is $33. Measured move to kind of take my full profit would be around $44. All this is symmetry. That's all. This low, this high. Okay, there's my swing. There's my symmetry. And so if we hit this level, it is probably in my best interest to be taking some profit. I do wonder if this is, going to hit and then pull back. I still like this overall. This is 1, 2, 3, a little pullback here, and a wave 5. I mean, the nice thing about this wave structure is it looks pretty clean to me that a wave 4 should be just a bit of a pause, and wave 5 still gets us up into like a $42 to $44 target. I do have a decent position. My cost basis is below all this support at $20. I own this in the teens. And man, I'd love to see this thing obviously have that much extra potential for gains versus calling this first price target. But still, I need to be respectful of the profit that I have. SLV is up a decent amount. Here is just a little look at it. SLV up $43,500, and GLD is also up a decent chunk, up around 12.1. So if I go 12.1, let me add this up here. So 12.1 and SLV up 43.5. And I've got some futures trades running as well, up around 840. So 8.4. And silver futures up around 9.8. So I'm sitting around $73,000 and almost $74,000 in profit. Probably wise to protect some of that. But target's still measured. There's still another $1.33 to go on SLV. And I'll assess whether or not I want to dump the shares with my covered call, which is up to 35. Give a little bit more time. Okay, so anyway, good stuff on those. Bitcoin 67,450. We keep testing that resistance area, and got to keep an eye on this one. I saw a trade. I'm actually interested. I might take this trade here. Let me have a look. MARA. I'm actually wondering, in and around the election. Let me see here. So let's say Bitcoin as an example. I'll do this. I'm going to look at MicroStrategy for a second. We're sitting here at 217. Let me see what the spreads are on MicroStrategy. So I looked at a trade earlier around MARA. It doesn't cost a lot of money to take this trade, but if I did something through MARA, going out through the election into, let's just say December or January. Let me see what this is going to cost. If I buy the 19 and I buy the 1750, okay, the implied move is about 688. You're paying 668. If I do a bull, let's see, 668. I don't know. I don't like it. You're basically paying for the entire implied move. Could I sell against it? Let me see what this costs. If I buy the 19, sell the 20, that costs 35 cents. So what would be my net profit here? If I went 19 to 20, and then I went 19 to 1750, what would that cost me? That's not too bad. So if I put in a trade, this is interesting. So if I could buy the 19 and sell the 20, that gives me 65 cents of profit on the dollar. Okay, so let's say that I win on that trade and I win 65 cents. Okay, on this trade, if I do a 16 by 15, that's going to cost me, if I buy the 213, sell the 168. So 213 minus 168, that's 45 cents on the dollar. Is that correct? Clear. So 16 by 15 cost me 43 cents. So chances are we'll be above or below these levels by the end of the year. I don't have to tie up a ton of capital. If I buy, sell, I can play this both ways. Is it cheaper if I go one strike higher? 78 cents versus 73 cents. I'd rather do that. Maybe this side it's $1.50. This side is $2. Let me see what my max profit is now. So what I'm debating on is MARA is a Bitcoin miner. If we have any type of reaction on Bitcoin, this is a nice way to play it. I can go both sides, but rather than just going, hey, I'll buy the 19 and I'll buy the 19 and paying $7.50 for it all the way out to January. If I went one strike out, I pay $6.33 for that. But the implied move, just based on the market maker and the implied volatility, is 6.88. So would I love the trade? Not really. Not with those mechanics. But if I buy the 19 and I sell the 20, it only costs me 35 cents to get paid 65 cents, which I do like that trade. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is, I guess this is one way to do it. If Bitcoin goes up, this trade isn't a lot of risk. If I were to do 3 contracts, I mean, I risk $100 to make $195. If Bitcoin is up by the end of the year, MARA should look a little bit better. So let's have a look at this. We're at 1882. If we're bottoming out here, I mean, I think to be one side and just keep the risk really simple, just do a buy call and a sell call. So a bull put spread or a bull call spread and a debit spread. There's no risk of assignment. If I did both sides where I did a buy a call, sell a call, buy a put, sell a put, if price goes down, price goes up. What I'm trying to make sure that I get out of this is net profit. I mean, worst case scenario is price stays right in the middle and I don't make any money on the trade. Okay. And the other issue is if I were to wait that long, if I go all the way out to December, then because I'm selling against it, in order for me to achieve those profits, I probably need to see price going, well above $20 on the upside or well below 16 on the downside. And I'm just not sure if we're going to get that. So if I go $2, okay, let me change this back to one contract. So I can pay 65 cents on the dollar. So I risk 65 bucks to get 135. That's not a bad take profit, right? So if I make 135 over 65, that's a 207% return on risk, which I do like that trade. That's $2 to the upside. So I think I'm going to take that trade on the upside, and then the downside, let me just see what the risk reward is, because essentially I need to cover, if I lose on this trade, I'm losing 65 bucks. So let me see what the $1.50 side is here. So if I win on this trade, 82 cents to make 68 cents, that barely covers the loss. So I'd have to go 17.5 to 15. Now it's equal at 125. I don't like either one of those. All right, I'm going to keep this really simple. I'm going to take the position that, Bitcoin drags MARA higher, and this is pushing up by the end of the year. Pay hopefully 65 cents for this trade. And I'm going to do, let's see. If I do 2 contracts, I'm risking 136 to make 264. I like this trade. I'm going to try to get in. 65 is not filling. 66 is 1 cent over the mid. Not filling. I don't want to take anything more than 70 cents, hopefully. 67. Not filling. 68. Come on, you turd. Come on, get me filled at least before 70 cents. All right, got filled for 69 cents. Similar order. Let's get after it. Filled. Filled. Okay. All right. So these trades are in. I'm going to add this into my Pulver alerts in the Discord here, the A1 Trading Discord. So new trade on MARA. This is a 12. I went to the 117 expiration. Okay, no worries. 117.24 expiration. Buy the 19 call. Sell the 21 call. 69-cent debit. So got 69 cents or $69 risk per contract. And then my profit would be the remainder. So max profit at 262. If MARA is greater than $21 by expiration, full profit achieved. Also willing to protect. Let's say if I'm risking $70 to make 260, even if I make like $100 and $40, willing to protect $140 plus profit as well. This instrument should move higher if Bitcoin is breaking higher. So putting in a buy trade here. Flip that around. So lots of upside as long as we stay right there. So if it goes up, we're still maxing profit, but the reward to risk is pretty good. So 117 expiration, buy the 19 call, sell the 21 call, 69-cent debit. And I like the trade. I want to take a look at a similar setup with MicroStrategy and maybe try to play both ways on MicroStrategy if I can. Similar type of trade. It's like if we're going to see a big reaction in Bitcoin in any capacity, I think MicroStrategy or Coinbase is one good way to do that. Okay, so that trade is in. Take a look at MSTR. Trading at 217. Have a look here. So if I went out, we have earnings on MicroStrategy on the 30th. So this is more so than just an earnings play. I'm going to go out towards the end of the year. I like this January. I've got some ratio spreads like that. That's just income plays way down here, 115 by 110, just a bull put spread, way outside the expected move. If we went, so the only downside with MicroStrategy is the spreads are $5 wide, or at least the strikes are. So going, if I buy the 220, sell the 225, I risk $200 to make $300. That's not bad. If I go both ways, so 190 and this is 485, that's way too expensive, so not doing that. Delete. Now that's if MicroStrategy is going higher, that's pretty inexpensive. The put side is certainly more expensive. I'd risk 192 to make 308. I don't mind that trade. If I go to the downside, let me see if I can get this to pair out where I can pay like it's not quite enough to get 2-to-1. So if I win 307 and I lose 190, I still walk away with $100 and I can go both ways. Now I don't want to get too big of a dead zone here. So this is see, we're getting about $1 difference in these two. So if I buy and I sell, this gets a little bit tighter. So like my 198 by 196. Can I do a 195 by 190? Nope, that's still too expensive. I'm trying to get filled for like 380 or less. This would be my dead zone, right? So if MicroStrategy's in here, then I'm going to lose this entire debit. Let me see, 190 by 85. Gosh, man, that's crazy expensive. It is ridiculous, actually, how cheap this is to buy a 200 and sell a 225. You know, you're risking $2 to make $3. That's great to essentially do like a slightly in the money, slightly like $2. I've got to go like how many dollars in the money to get this thing to ask for less than $2? If I buy a 190 and I sell a 185, it's over $2. If I go to the 180 by 185, that's $2. Good Lord. It's just crazy how expensive these puts are. So I'd have to go $37 out of the money on the put side for this to charge me the same debit. It's actually still more expensive. This is insane. So 175 by 170 there. So I'd have to go way the fudge down here for a bear put spread, risk 175 to get 323. Now, I don't mind this trade, but I mean that bear side is really just protection in case. I mean, if we had like a huge dump where all of a sudden MicroStrategy is going to just get hit hard, then that trade would still be worth having. I've got all my income trades much lower. So here's the trade. I mean, if we're up and we're up to fresh highs, this one's pretty easy. $1.75, go up to fresh highs. It cost me $3.50 to $3.60. Now the results would look like this. If I'm dead wrong and price stays in the middle, so let's say we're not above 220 and we're not below 175, this is my dead zone. I'd risk $350 on the trade. Now, if I win on one side, okay, so on this trade, I would be going after about $300 in profit. So 300, just I guess I'll type it out versus trying to draw this. So I have $300 profit for about $1.95 risk. Okay, and the other side, I have a 175 risk, and that would be out of a $5 spread. So I'd have 325 profit, right? So if one trade wins, if I win on the bullish side, I would walk away. If I win on the bullish side, if price is up here, then I net $125 a contract. If I win on the bearish side, then I would net about $130 per contract. Okay, and that allows me to win one and lose one, and I still walk away profitable on MicroStrategy. Worst case scenario is we're in between, 215 and 170 or so, 175, and then that's my max risk on the trade. All right, so there is risk on this if price doesn't go up or down and we stay sideways, but I'm going out to the new part of 2025. If we have enough movement where Bitcoin is actually going higher and MicroStrategy follows because of that, then we walk away with this one and maybe close out for partial profit there. But let me see if I can just manage this trade. It's not too bad. Not too bad. So I don't mind this trade. 175 by 170, get in here for 375. Let me see if I can get into this for like 370. Let me delete this one more time. Delete. $1.77. That's now $2. Make this a little bit cheaper. This isn't too bad. I pay $3.44 versus $3.82. So this one pays a little bit better. This is about $1.75 on each one. So my risk would be $175, okay? And my reward would be $325. Okay? So if I lose on one, so this would be bull call side, that's my risk reward. Bear put side, risking 175 to make 325. So if I win and I lose, I still walk away with about $150. Still walk away with $150 per contract. There is a dead zone. I'll still risk the whole amount here. I'd like to lower that cost basis a little bit more though. I want this to be like 350. How much do I love this trade? I don't know. The goal was not to go, $40 in, $40 out of the money on the put side. So I don't really know if that's the trade that is good to take. Let me do something different. If I were to uh, buy the 220 and buy the 220, there's an $81 move. And if I were to, that's crazy. So I mean, essentially, I make $5 profit to risk 490. No. All right. I think I'm going to hold off. I just think the put side is way too expensive right now. Now there could be something separate, like maybe I could place this trade. Well, it doesn't make any sense to even place it now on the earnings side. We have earnings coming up at the end of October. So October 30th, we have earnings. If I went to the November 1st expiration and I, buy the 217, sell the 215, it's a 1-to-1, right? And I don't know if MicroStrategy is really going lower. It would make sense that we're sitting here near these highs, but this is just an earnings print. So if we have 1 or 2 days to manage this trade, it's like, does it blow the top off and then fade? I might not have enough time in the trade. Let me see. I don't know. This might be better off for like a post earnings play versus a pre earnings play. So I don't know. I'm going to pass on MicroStrategy. Coinbase is another one. Maybe Coinbase is a little bit better. Let's have a look here. I was just thinking about some election plays and kind of end of year plays. If gold's going to keep ripping and silver's going to go up and Bitcoin's going to go up. I mean, one thing on Coinbase could be we get back to these recent highs. If this is behaving a little bit like Bitcoin, we're obviously not up to the resistance like we are in Bitcoin. And we're kind of sitting right in the middle. So I do have some income plays all the way down here. I wouldn't mind seeing some type of dips or pullbacks if we get something, but probably not right now. Okay. So do I like Coinbase if it's priced out right now? If we did something through January, nope. Already the strike prices are way too far apart. If I buy the 210, sell the 220, I risk 428 to make 572. I just want a tighter strike than that. I mean, 10 points wide. It's okay if I go one strike up, the 220 by 230, but we're requiring the move to do too much. Now, 373 to make 627. That's not a bad play. I don't think it's a bad play at all. In fact, that one's okay just to take a single direction, but I got to be willing to risk that money if we go down. If Coinbase is down, then I'm risking that, but the reward is actually pretty solid. So going out to January, basically, if we get Coinbase to go higher, the issue is how much do I have? I need it to go up to 230 plus, right? If I buy the 220, sell the 230, it only cost me 375 to do so, or 370 and change. So I risk 370, 365, get 630 on the trade. That is a good income play. But the percentage move, let's say we have to get above 230 right now. If we get above 230, then I need to see price move about 8.83%. The expected move there could be anywhere around $60. So point wise, I need about an 18 to 19 point move. And percentage wise, I need about an 8% move. But this is cost effective. I'm going to take this trade. Now, I know there's a lot of downside here, but if I just did this as a one contract trade and this is down, let's say that from right now, Coinbase drops. Well, I would do the same trade again on Coinbase and just probably take 2 contracts instead of 1. So I think it's an easy way to kind of get yourself out of the trade if it doesn't go up. But if we continue to see additional inflows coming in with all the major ETFs and Coinbase benefits from more crypto activity, then I could see this going at least up to resistance. If Bitcoin is going to go higher, I could see Coinbase correlating with that. So I don't mind the trade. I mean, it's not quite 2-to-1, but it's right there. 375 or less. Let's say we just get in for 375. So if I walk away with 6 325 in profit over the 365 in risk. I mean, that's 171% return on risk. That's not bad. It's not expensive. 370. I mean, the bid ask is a little wide, but I can get maybe 370 to 375. I'm going to take this trade. So MARA, I've got a trade in there. I'm going to go after this one as well. Buy power is not much, only $376 to get in the trade. Try to get filled for 370. I probably have to take this up to 375. Okay, 370 not filling, 371. Filled at 371. That's not bad at all. Okay, I'm going to get this trade entered. $372. Okay, so those are all filled. Adding this one in. Coin 117.25 expiration. Buy the 220 call. Sell the 230 call. 3.72 debit. 372 max risk per contract. And that would be 628 profit per contract. Looking to see if election plus November, December flows push Bitcoin higher and coin benefits from a rally. Okay, so that's a 220 getting in here, long position. So all the upside, pretty tight risk, and 117, 220 call, selling the 230 call, 3.71 debit, 3.72 debit. There it is. So let me take a screenshot. I'll delete that other one for this post just to single that out, but I've got 2 trades in Coinbase. There. Easy. Okay, and I'll add that in. Little personal tracker action. So MARA. And then Coinbase. Okay, I'll add those in. All right, so 2 trades right there. I like those. Let's see what happens. Obviously, there's downside potential. There's no assignment risk, so even if it goes down a ton and then comes back up by the end of the year into the first part of January 2025, this trade could still work out okay. If Bitcoin rallies and rallies aggressively, these trades will be totally fine. There's partial profits we can take. We don't have to sit on this thing the entire time. If I wanted to take, $200 to $300 to $400 of profit versus holding out for $600 of profit, if we're up to, 240, 250, 260 fairly quickly, then sure, we can take profit along the way on both MARA as well as Coinbase. So I like those trades. All right, not too shabby. Let's see. This is one thing I talked about this morning. I mentioned this in one of my webinars today at noon as well. This is the one thing that is making me a little nervous going into the end of the year. Okay, so Truflation is a third-party inflation measure. The last time we had our year-over-year print for CPI, the official financial news was 2.4% versus the forecast of 2.5, or actually it was, no, I take that back. It was like we had 2.5 and then printed 2.4 when the market was looking at a 2.3, right? So if I go back to the calendar, calendar here. Go back a week. So we had CPI for Canada. We have to go back another week for the US. Okay, so it was 2 weeks ago. There we go. So US CPI forecasted 2.3, came in 2.4. The month over month, and the core was a little bit higher. So we went from 2.9 to 2.5 to 2.4. So we had inflation improving, and then we got a little crazy with the forecast where we forecasted 2.5, came in 2.5, forecasted 2.3, came in 2.4. What I was wanting to explain was this 2.4, in my opinion, is the same as this bottom. That is my concern. That if our CPI at 2.4 was actually the equivalent to this move is something we can see in more real time than getting the 1 month print that we see in the economic calendar. And looking at these lows to this current price, this is sitting at 2.2% right now with a low of around 1.5. So the fact that we've gone up 0.7% in the last month is one thing that is really concerning. Because this whole thing has been about, oh, we need to tame inflation. The Fed refused to cut rates because of inflation. And here we are with inflationary pressures that are flaring back up. Now, I don't think that it's going to break the market at 2.5, 2.6%. But I also don't want to see, the trend going down to 2.4, back up to 2.7 or 8, back up to 3%. And then the Fed's like, well, we're just going to pause now. And then the market maybe doesn't love it. I don't know. Who the fudge knows? But I think this bottom and going up, showing a value now of 0.7% higher, that is not a good thing. Okay. SoFi rallying, that's a good sign. Let's check on that. How's it up? Is it up to $11? 1057. All right, not bad. Not bad on all SoFi. I have some personal account exposure on SoFi, but not a ton. I've shaded the position down a little bit. I'm trying to get back to SoFi. I've got a take profit set at $20 on this thing. I'm not doing anything right now. If this is, let me just measure this thing. Let's say this is I don't know. Let's say it's cup and handle, okay? Because we had this huge drop. We have this move to this level, and we had a pullback. Well, if it breaks this high, that's a cup and handle. I'm going to measure that move, and I'll probably adjust my profit target. Let me see this. So if we go from low to high, and it breaks that line, let's just stretch that move out. That'd be my measured move, and that's sitting at $19.20. So I'm just going to change this right here to $19. If I hit that measured move, I'm getting out. So 1057 to 19. If I get out for, I think I have 300 shares. Yep, 300 shares of SoFi. 300 times 19, get out for $5,700. My cost basis on this thing is probably like $1,000, maybe $1,500. So I was buying it and then lowering my cost basis. I did shave down some shares. I bought like 500 shares at this, $10 area. I shaved it down to 200, average back in, got myself back up to 300. I didn't go crazy on SoFi, but I'd obviously love to see this thing break 1175. If we do that, I've got a measure move towards 19. I'm going to stick with it. So I'm just going to set a take profit in this one. I could get a little bit more active in options. We have earnings on SoFi at the end of the month on Tuesday, the 29th, before market open. So if we have a positive print, that could be a good sign. I wouldn't mind watching SoFi head higher. Yeah, good stuff. Okay. So a couple of levels there. AT&T has earnings this week, trading at 21.51, waiting to see what it gives on earnings. There's certainly some pullback levels. We're on the right-hand side of this trend line. AT&T could either blow this move out and get up into some bigger levels of support, which would be right around $24, or we could see a pullback. But still, to me, this low to this high, even a pullback, I'm still pretty interested in some accumulation and then going to see if we can measure and get something back up in like a wave 3. If this is a wave 1, 2, and a 3, and maybe we're just not quite done yet with wave 1. If this is wave 1, I don't know. I could see a wave 2, I suppose, but just a little stretch higher before we get a pullback. I'm good with this one, like $24, $25. I'm probably going to take some profit on AT&T. But we have some, like T-Mobile has earnings this week, Verizon has earnings this week, AT&T has earnings this week. All right, not bad. MARA. I'll put that one in. Coinbase added that in. Added the trade in on, what did I trade today? Let me go all symbols. What else did I trade today? SPY, Qs, IBM, Coca-Cola. There we go. I did Coca-Cola. So IBM, Coca-Cola, UPS. I think that gets me all caught up. I've just got to add to my spreadsheet here. Those are all good. IWM, those are good. Pending. Okay, those are fine. Pfizer. Got it. Okay, so I'm good there. Update the spreadsheet. MARA, Coinbase, IBM, Coca-Cola, UPS. I've got to add that in. No problem. All right, let's take a look at some other stuff here. NIO. I don't really like the play. I think that I do have some China plays, right? So my, Alibaba that I have shares of, Baidu I have shares of, FXI I've got credit spreads in. Let me see if I still own shares of FXI. I might. I'm not sure if I have shares or not. Let me see. So FXI, I do have some shares of FXI. They are covered at 29. And let's see if I get rid of the shares. So I bought it at 27. They're covered at 29. So to answer, NIO, I don't love the stock. I mean, I'm kind of out of the whole EV play. And this, if I'm not mistaken, NIO is a very high end electric vehicle. And I think, I don't know, if I'm playing the electric vehicle space, number one, it's when we have a better, charging infrastructure, and probably more cost effective models. I mean, my gosh, cars are expensive, car payments are expensive, car insurance is expensive. So I think this quantity of NIO, I mean, who's going to buy it? You got to buy, it looks like $100,000 to $200,000 vehicle. So yeah, I'm sure the top 1% can buy it, the top 10% can buy it if they want to, but I'm kind of out of it. I think it's a play that if you throw some money at it, you never know what it's going to become. So if you're willing to risk, I mean, it's $5,000 if you buy 100 shares, or you just throw in. I mean, you can throw in whatever you're comfortable with. If I bought shares right now, I mean, you could buy one share at $5, right? If I bought, actually no, it's five. If I go 525 times 100, yeah, I mean, you drop $500, you can have 100 shares. I mean, that's pretty cheap to say, yeah, we'll see what happens. So if you're willing to throw some money at it, it either goes to, $4 or $3 and change, and maybe eventually comes higher, or this thing actually starts to go way, way, way higher, and we see this going to like $15, $16, and all of a sudden you're up 100% on your investment. So totally your call. I'm probably just going to stay out of it. I think I saw the EV stuff getting a little bit too bubblicious back in like 2021 and 2022. I took a lot of profit on EVs and SPACs, but I didn't stay in them and think they were the greatest thing ever, which I'm glad because they all turned to crap. And NIO is certainly one of them. I mean, this stock is down from the highs. I mean, the stock is down, 90+%. So it looks like a good deal, but you never know if this is going to be, if it's going to amount to anything. It might amount to nothing. So I don't love it. MRI had a really nice area support on 15. I missed it. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, you can trade options, right? If you like the direction. So, long story short, I don't love NIO. I don't love it. JD is looking a little bit better. I'm trying to get this thing called away at 42 for an income play. A little bit of green candle today certainly helped. MCHI starting to stabilize around that 50%. KWeb hanging in there at 32 and change. FXI stabilizing at the 38%. Baidu, deeper pullback than I certainly wanted to see. I was hoping we'd hang out around that 38 to 50%, but I'm still looking to see if there's a retest of the high. Alibaba, same situation. We're hanging out at 38%. Does this pull back more? I don't know. This 38% to this 5.0. Maybe we fill the gap at the 618, and this just becomes like the easy little golden ratio trade. So China's still being somewhat vocal around adding some stimulus and what packages they're going to deploy. Somewhere between 100 billion and 200 billion US, and it's like 5 trillion won or something ridiculous like that. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm holding a lot of my China plays out to the end of the year. I think if we can get through the U.S. election, the Fed doesn't disrupt anything with a pause or something where they pivot and change course. I mean, if they cut rates and we've got China adding stimulus and the Fed cuts rates another 25 to 50 basis points by the end of the year into January, I think it's hard for the markets not to continue to melt up. But I mean, pullbacks. I would like to see a pullback. I'd like to see some volatility coming to the election. Election week, I don't even know if I want to like income trade on those days outside of something that's longer term, like daily profit play. We can assess it day by day, but I mean, I might go like super tight risk on that entire week just in case. You know, who knows what we're going to get directionally? I mean, the market could be like waiting every single day, and pre-market, post-market, it could just be wide open volatility. So I don't know. We'll see. Markets can also do absolutely nothing. It's like, yeah, just the same old market. But it just seems like the stacked up. There's going to be earnings. There's going to be a presidential election. There's going to be the Fed. There's going to be non-farm payroll. There's plenty to kind of break the markets loose. Yep. So, all right, we got a few more minutes here at the top of the hour. For everyone that's in, I see a lot of familiar names in here. But the top of the hour. So here's what's going on. 4 p.m. Eastern time. I'm hosting a VIP class for my waterfall income members. So that is 4 p.m. Eastern time. The link has already been pushed out. I sent the link out earlier today just to give you a heads up that we're having class at 4 p.m. The link to get in is a Zoom link that should be posted in your members portal from One Click Trading. If anybody is tuning in this session live or watching the recording after the fact, you are welcome to join my Telegram, Chris Pulver Telegram. And that is a free Telegram. So I'll post the link there. And then same thing with my Discord, Telegram, right there. There's the Telegram, and then Chris Pulver Trading Discord. And I'll send this little it's a expiring invite. You got 7 days to join. And there's my Discord. Okay. So at the top of the hour, I wanted to spend some time. Couple things to discuss. We'll go in stride and see what the consensus is. But I've got 2 VIP classes that I want to host. One involving advanced trade management. The other one involving a modification to the strategy. So we'll kind of blend those into today's class, right? So if anybody's interested in my course, I think I have the link for it right here. Let me see if it's still valid. So let me see what this link looks like. Yep. So I got the valid link right here. So if anybody is interested in checking out the course, here is a link to it. It's my weekly income method. It's a waterfall income. I basically stack up trades every week. It's kind of like dollar cost averaging, but we're using options, and it works very, very well. So there's a link to sign up. There's webinars I'll be doing all week to showcase it, talk about it. Classes like today, for the VIPs. If you're coming in late, you can obviously jump into the class, get all the member access stuff, watch your recordings, get up to speed. Okay. I've been pyramiding so far. It's all working out. I don't know what that even is. Describe pyramiding. I haven't heard that as an official strategy name. But if you're trading NVIDIA, you're probably doing fine. The stock continues to breach all-time highs. This is another one that I would love to see a pullback on if there's any type of volatility. Earnings isn't until November 20th, so we're getting through all the election stuff. We do have some Mag 7 stocks coming up in the next few weeks. It'll be interesting to see if the Mag 7 continues to support the market or if the market's disappointed in like slower growth from Apple and slower growth from Amazon or slower growth from Microsoft. I have no idea. You know, there's enough market cap thrown around by those Mag 7s that we could definitely see some pullbacks. Adding to winners. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of winners to add to with Nvidia, that's for sure. I would really love any pullback. 21 period, 50 period, 100 anything. Any pullback would be nice. I mean, yes, we just came above these highs. I don't know if it's just pure breakout mode or what I am watching is how far away we stretched from the 200 EMA, and it's getting closer, obviously, but this hasn't been hit in about 470 bars, which is pretty high on a daily bar count. So, Casino Man, keep doing your thing. Keep pyramiding those winners. All right. All right. So that being said, I'm going to wrap up here for the final hour. Just a small breather, and then yeah, top of the hour, VIP class for waterfall income. The link in one shows area says is expired. Okay. Give me a sec. All right, let me see if I can find a link. Or this. If you're in my Discord or Telegram, there will here. How about this? This will probably be easier. If you're in my Discord or Telegram, the link in one click says, "Are you clicking on the VIP?" Oh, interesting. All right, let me check something real quick. VIP member saying, "What, dude? Get up." All right, I'll get that. I should double check that link. I've got the Zoom link right here for class at 4 p.m. So should be fine. And if you're in the Telegram or Discord and you want to, learn anything else about the waterfall income strategy, I will be doing webinars this week. I've got another one posted for Thursday at 1:30 p.m. So, again, turnkey, you got a strategy guide, course videos, you got recordings, stuff like that. So, I mean, you can dive right in, get up to speed very, very quickly. If you want to come into that webinar on Thursday, the links will be posted in Telegram. They'll be posted in Discord. I'm just not finding the direct link. So, but yeah, we should be good. I've got the class scheduled. I've got the Zoom link right here. Okay, just give me a second here. A little housekeeping. Making sure I'm ready to rock for 4 p.m. All right, back to the chat. Doc says, link is under VIP. Logged in. Click the waterfall VIP. Clicked on live link. You good? So are we good? Thumbs up. Doc, you're in. Papa John, you in? All right, so let me double check. Should be good. All right, well, in any case, I've got 3 minutes before I start class, so let's make sure that we're good. So I'll wrap up here for the final hour. I'll be back tomorrow, most likely. I say most likely because I do have a travel day tomorrow. I'm heading out to California and possibly running my sessions on Friday from a hotel, but keep you posted. So I think I can get through most of the sessions tomorrow. I've got a flight to catch anywhere between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. Just depends on which one looks cleaner. That's mountain time. So anyway, that's my problem, not yours. I'll let you go. VIP students at Waterfall Income, I'll see you in just a few minutes. And hopefully we'll give everyone a chance to jump into the session. VIP members only. Wear your jacket. All right, thanks, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye.